So let's go ahead and jump into an AFC playoff picture bracket from 1 to 7, and we'll go seed by seed. So start me with number 1. Coming into the year, who is your 1 seed in the AFC? And now who do you think is going to finish as the 1 seed going into the midseason, excuse me?
1 seed, as ridiculous as everyone else had, which only now is ridiculous. I had Kansas City. At this point, say the 1 seed is going to have to be Buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Kansas City Chiefs are completely falling off. I don't even have them making the playoffs.
Peeking ahead. I got to agree with you, though. My original 1 seed was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Did have them finishing at 14-3, but now through the mid-season, and it's so close here in the AFC, my 1 and 2 seed literally with the same record. Same thing with my 3 and 4 seed. It's going to get so chippy when it comes to the division, looking into the conference, points against, points for. It's going to get that deep, I think, this year in the AFC. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. And I think there's only 3 games on their schedule right now that could hold them up. Bengals, Rams, maybe the Packers stop them, but I think overall this is going to be a 3-loss team. Lamar has taken that step forward, but with the defense they have to come around for in order to keep up this number 1 seed type of hype right now. Number 2 seed, who's your original? Who's your revised?
Number 2, I had Buffalo. I've now bumped them up into the number 1 seed. At 2 now, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Like, the Ravens are playing great football. I mean, they did just lose a crazy game. I mean, that was the way Cincinnati beat them that was kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, they walked them up and down the field.
That could have been an anomaly, but it may be indicative of just how much better Cincinnati has gotten. But at this point, it was 1 game. I think Baltimore is the second-best team in the AFC as it stands, so I'm taking the Ravens in the 2 spot.
Heard on that, man, and I'm going to flip your 1 and 2. So originally I had the Bills going 13-4, and I'm going to stick with the Bills now going 14-3. Now, oddly enough, they are wildly shaky this year, and Allen is not playing making the same plays, performing at the same clip like he was last year, and I think the offense will go quiet for quarters or for halves at a time, but at the end of the day, they are the number 1 offense in the NFL. They are the number 1 defense in the NFL statistically, so you can't doubt an AFC team performing like that. Now, your number 3 seed, who was your original, and who do you have actually finishing as a number 3 in the AFC?
Original number 3 seed was the Cleveland Browns, which are looking highly disappointing at this point.
Expectations.
Right now, I'm going to have to give it to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, as the 3.
Yes, that would have them winning the AFC West, getting the 3 seed.
Yeah. All right, the Raiders. Now, that's not a bad claim. The Raiders are definitely sitting up there in a stout record. I had the Ravens actually originally at my 3 seed going 12-5. I'm going to flip that pick to the Chargers, still going 12-5 here in. I know I talked about this team a lot coming in. Justin Herbert, what the defense could be, them coming back healthy. And overall, they have been that type of team. But when you talk about the Bengals, Raiders, and the Chiefs, I think in some form will cause 2 more losses for this team. And they can't stop the run at the end of the day. When you talk about the Bengals and the Raiders, and I know you're going to have to see some other teams down the road that can run the ball effectively, it is going to bump the Chargers down to the 3 seed at 12-5. Now, number 4, who was winning that division originally, and who do you have at the midseason now?
Originally, I picked Tennessee to win the division. I still have Tennessee winning the division. Even without Derrick Henry, the lead that they have in the division is so big, they would basically have to lose all the rest of their games not to win the division. So they're still going to win it. So Tennessee at 4 still.
Heard on that. I had the Colts going 9-8 because I wasn't expecting a lot out of the Titans, but they shut me up real quick. I'm going to have the Titans finishing at 13-4. They're clearly the best team in the AFC South right now. There's no question about that. Now, Peterson, I think, does supplement well enough for Derrick Henry, but I wasn't a big fan of that pick. We did talk about it in the winners and losers. Now, their next 2 games against the Rams and the Saints could kind of turn out as L's, but after that, I think they could win out potentially with the rest of this year. Your number 5 seed in the AFC, original and revised.
Number 5 seed was the New England Patriots. Like, I called us with a very, very good record at this point.
Pats.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, when I originally predicted the seeds, Cam was starting.
Yep.
So, you know, that does change a bit.
It's like when Andrew Luck retired and everybody wanted season tickets back. Damn, I had to do that, didn't I? Wow, sorry, Colts.
But, you know, I can't say I didn't feel that way.
Right. I'm like, damn, I'm bad.
But right now, I would have to take the Cincinnati Bengals at 5. They will be second in their division with the next best record for the top wild card team. I think Cincinnati is actually going to turn that much of a corner. I'm going to give the Cincinnati Bengals a 5 spot.
I'm going to exactly give the Cincinnati Bengals a 5 spot as well. I did have the Chargers originally at 13-4. Give me the Bengals going 12-5. And I think the Chargers and the Ravens overall give them 2 more L's on the year. But I think they'll upset Kansas City actually in week 17. And then they'll finish second to Baltimore in the division like we're talking about here. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. The defense, I think, will carry this team overall and be able to slot them at the 5 seed in the AFC. The 6th seed, original, revised, AFC, go.
Original 6 seed, the Baltimore Ravens, which you see now I've moved all the way up to the 2 seed. Now as it stands, I got the Patriots sneaking in at 6. Still have them in the playoffs, not quite as high. One tick down. But things are turning around for them. I think they do still backpedal into these playoffs.
Yep.
And at least make a respectable type of run.
That would be absolutely wild. No question. 6th seed for me was going to be originally the Cleveland Browns at 10-7. I don't have them in there now. I will put in your New England Patriots. I think they'll finish 11-6. And the fact that Mac Jones as a rookie could win 11 games for this Patriots team, but you look at their schedule's pretty soft outside 2 Buffalo games, which I think they'll split. They do have the Titans as well, which they could even beat and win 12 games would be absolutely crazy for Mac Jones. He's progressing every week. He's being smarter. He's not making the turnover plays. He's more efficient. He's got Belichick. He's got that defense. So give me the Patriots at 11-6 for the 6th seed in the AFC. Now to round it out, who's going to grab that last spot? OG revised. Go.
I had the Colts backpedaling in the 7th seed just because that last spot was really going to be a team where it's like you're the best of the worst.
Right.
I now have that as the Cleveland Browns. I do think that they still backpedal into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I still think, I've now got the AFC North getting 3 teams in.
That's huge for a tough division. One of the toughest divisions in football.
Adding Cincinnati, I easily give them 3.
Yep.
I think even at a 4-4 record, all is not lost for Cleveland. They can absolutely win enough games to get that 7th spot since there's an extra wild card.
Feel that. 7 seed for me originally was going to be the New England Patriots, had them winning 9 games, losing 8. Now I'm going to fall all the way down with the the Kansas City Chiefs at number 7. And they only finish here because of the rough start. But they actually, I think they get a break with Aaron Rodgers being out with COVID, because I think if A-Rod plays that game, they probably lose, and they could fall to a 9-8 record in a loaded AFC. A 9-win, maybe even 10 or 11 wins in the way the AFC is shaping out might not get you a playoff spot right here. The Browns or the Steelers could potentially sneak in if the Chiefs were not looking at a Jordan Love, for this upcoming game.